All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all having an incredible day today. It's actually kind of cold here in Chicago, but we're going to ignore that part. We're going to talk Los Angeles Lakers here. You guys have been showing me mad love on all of these videos. I appreciate it so much. I love making them. If you guys have any specific videos you want me to do, let me know. But leave a like, hit that sub button. I do this every single day, so this means a lot to me, man. Let's talk about two Lakers buyout candidates. Although, I need this to be known. Neither of them have been, bought out, right? This is all pure speculation. Both of these players are, they're not on the market. So this is all speculation. But April 9th is the last day that you can make these moves. So there's only 10 days. And with Andre Drummond going to the Lakers just a couple of days ago, LaMarcus Aldridge going to the Nets just a couple of days ago, I have to say that this is just a start of what is to come. My roommate's pulling up, Mr. Casual. So let's take a look at Wayne Ellington. 10.5 points per game. Nothing else really to show for. He's a liability on defense. Both of these two players aren't particularly good on defense, which is an issue. But considering the Lake Show are the number one defense in the league, I think that they can make some room here because getting Andre Drummond just a very defensive, defensively, he's very talented. He's probably the best rebounder in the NBA. He averages 17.5 points per game, 12.5 rebounds per game, throw in a steal and a half per game, throw in a block per game. I mean, he's 27 years old. He's in his prime. He is just, this is great. So you get him on a team that is already the number one defense in the NBA. No one's going to complain with that. So that's why I think you kind of have that open. You've got a slot here for a guy who isn't particularly great on the defensive end because you pick up Andre Drummond. You're the number one rated defense in the NBA. Your defense is holding up quite well right now as well without LeBron, without AD. So I think this is where you can make this move. Wayne Ellington, the defense is not there. The Pistons were looking to unload this dude at the deadline. They were only asking for a second-round pick, and no teams offered a second-round pick for Wayne Ellington. It's just shocking to me because, first off, he's on Detroit. So shooting-wise, he's having one of the best seasons of his career. He's shooting 42% from three. If Wayne Ellington wasn't shooting 42% from three, I don't think Wayne Ellington would be talked about that much, especially around the trade deadline, but let alone the buyout market. He's relatively old. He's like 32 or 33 years old, but 42% from three. This is on the Detroit Pistons. So just kind of thinking, what if he had LeBron to give him open shots? I don't even know, man. I really don't know. So Wayne Ellington is one of those dudes who I think that the Lakers could use because of that three-point shooting. They're not a particularly good three-point shooting team at all. So that's why I think you can jeopardize that defense here because you just picked up Drummond. You have a great defense, but you really need three-point shooting. The Lakers' need is really three-point shooting, or it's like a guard, or it's a wing defender. And ideally, it's a player who can do all three of those. But past the trade deadline, I don't know how realistic that could be. Let's take a look at the next dude on this list who I'm not particularly keen about going to the Lakers at all because of his defense and also because of his effort. But if it were to work out, if Hassan Whiteside were to work out, and this is even just going for any team, if Hassan Whiteside works out for any team, that's a major W. This is a totally different conversation, but as far as Hassan goes, you're looking at 15 minutes a night, 20 minutes a night here on the Lakers. He's got an effort issue. He's not good on defense. I just would rather have Marc Gasol. I made a whole video about Marc Gasol getting possibly bought out and why I'm not too big on it because, their next best option is probably Hassan Whiteside unless you just want to roll with Trez, AD, and Drummond heading into the playoffs, which honestly isn't too bad considering, I mean, Drummond's very durable, but I am a little worried about Anthony Davis's injury concerns, his injury past, all that good stuff. So that is a little concerning. So I'm kind of glad we just have Marc Gasol on the roster as of right now. But let's take a look at Hassan Whiteside because he's coming off just a really good season. He averaged, like last year he averaged about 15.5 rebounds per game, 13.5 boards per game, and then about 2.5 blocks per game. This is on Portland. He goes to Sacramento for whatever reason on a veteran's minimum. I mean, the dude this year is playing less than 15 minutes per game. He's averaging literally less than 15 minutes per game. He's only gotten one start, and in that one start, I believe he went like 25, 5, and 3, something like that, something ridiculous. But on the season, he's averaging 8, 6, and a block and a half. I mean, his blocks have always been there. I remember there was that one year he was in Miami where he averaged like 3.7 blocks. I mean, there are just years where he averages 2.5 blocks, 3 blocks, but there was that one year in Miami where he averaged like, I forget what it was, man. It was like 15, 10, and 3.7 blocks. It wasn't 3.5, it was 3.7, creeping towards 4 blocks per game. If Hassan Whiteside is putting in effort, this is almost a totally different conversation because that's Hassan, especially on the offensive side, can really hoop. My issue or a concern I do have, though, is like Trez and Whiteside. That's a defensive major issue. So I think if they were to get Whiteside, I don't think he would really play that much. I really don't think he would play that much. I mean, you look at the Lakers, they're 4th in the West, they're 30-17. I don't know how much Hassan Whiteside would play because he's not great on defense. His effort isn't always there. But that's another thing is if Hassan Whiteside effort has never really been there, I mean, you kind of take a look at his career. He's been on Miami. He went to Miami. He was putting in effort, got paid. Then the effort kind of drops off, goes to Portland, puts up good statistical numbers. But right now here on Sacramento, I mean, he doesn't play much defense. He doesn't really do all that much for him. But I'm not here to diss Hassan Whiteside. I still think he could provide value because when you play with LeBron James, your mindset's a little different. You're not going to Sacramento with Luke Walton. You're going to Los Angeles with LeBron James, Andre Drummond, Anthony Davis, Frank Vogel. You're there to defend the throne. You're there to defend the title. So I think Hassan Whiteside would fully buy into whatever contending team he went to, especially if it's the Los Angeles Lakers. I know LeBron James could give out easy buckets to both Hassan Whiteside and Wayne Ellington. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoy it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Like I said, man, I do this every single day. But I'm really curious if you guys are interested in Hassan Whiteside or Wayne Ellington. So let me know down in the comments.